across the quad into the lecture hall. We jimmied the doors open. We borrowed, who would have a lock picking kit? Pretty much all of the members of the Days of Our Lives cast would be able to pick a freaking lock. From Ava to Kristen to Brady to Steve to Roman to Jada to Rafe to Marlena, everybody can pick a lock.
The split them between them is which one would pick the lock and who would just blackmail someone else to pick the lock.
Who would be blackmailing the person while they're picking the lock? Saying, well, when you get into this room, you owe me a serum for my wife's back.
Right?
Hi, Jeannie. Hello, everybody else that's hanging out. Michelle, hello. Super late, but you know what? Two reasons. One, we're humans and we're never on time. I mean, name a human that's always on time. You probably named like 5.
Brother.
Is he really? Oh, now, is he though? Because he gets dragged down by people who are slower.
Yes.
I win. Hey, Kelly. Hi, everybody. Welcome. I know we're super late.
Hello, everybody.
Number one, it's because we're just late. We just are. What can we say? We get a talking. We're filling our coffees. We're making sure we have notes and pictures and all kinds of stuff, and it is what it is. Secondly,
and you had a problem with your computer this morning.
And my computer was super late. Yes, everything was updating, and I couldn't stop it. Just reminds me that I need to use this thing more often during the week.
Mine's slow as snot too.
Yeah, well, I don't know what to say. Your computer also is ancient. As is my. Anyway, that's not the point of this podcast. Excuses galore. Number one, we're just late. Number two, it was also sort of a happy way for you to go check out another half hour of the podcast-a-thon. That's happening over on Suds Media with Vinny, who joins us in the chat every once in a while for both this show and GH, and then also Professor Angela, who's his co-host for their GH podcast that they do every week on Mondays.
So that's where she's at, you guys.
So that's where she's at. She's still podcast-a-thoning and gathering those donations for Samantha Friends, which supports service animals across the United States to help people with disabilities make it through. So Absolutely. If you got a chance to go click over there for a minute, I mean, even if you want to do it right now, I won't stop you because it's a good cause. But if you want to click over there and get the PayPal so you can make a donation, then hop on back over here. You're totally welcome to do that. So they're ending their stuff. I think theirs is going to be done pretty much at the same time that our 10th floor podcast for GH starts.
Oh.
So
at 11 then.
So if you want to in half an hour go listen to them interview Blaze from GH and then come over here to talk about General Hospital afterwards, you're welcome to do that as well.
That's cool.
Yeah, Jeannie says that she was watching most of the day on Saturday, so we had some viewers over there. So go support our friends. Go support our friends. But if you decide to come and hang out with us to talk about Days of Our Lives too, well, you know what? That podcast-a-thon is going to be available on demand for you to click and watch at your convenience. Bite-sized chunks, because it is 26 hours long.
That's long, huh?
Can you imagine what they talked about?
Everything under the sun.
Literally anything and everything. Breaking news, everybody. P. Diddy's newest list just came out. We're going to talk about it on the podcast-a-thon because we've got nothing else to cover. Really, though, when it comes down to it, when you're podcasting about soap operas, you really could fill 26 hours of just soap chatter. You really could. You really could.
Can you talk about the past and the present and what you're hoping for the future and all that?
Old characters that you loved and new characters that you enjoy and this actor and that actor and all sorts of different stuff. Sure. That's the beauty of podcasts. That's why people love to talk about it. That's why we like to do podcasting. And also, that's why y'all come and join us every week too. So thank you for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I bought myself.
Talking to ourselves if we didn't.
I got myself a little. These are more expensive now. They're like 75 cents instead of 25.
Oh, I can find them for you for a dime. You know me.
I got myself a little compost book, composition book for my Days of Our Lives notes.
That's cool.
So we can talk about Days of Our Lives this week and be on like my first note here. Tate and Philip. Ooh, they're scheming, mama. They're scheming. All right. It's like Kate was like, I'm bored sitting at this same table in the pub for the last 2 years. I would like a story, please.
It seemed like, huh?
Because even the story that they gave her with Body and Soul, she's still sitting at that dang table at the pub.
Yeah. Honestly, in the year and a half we've been watching Days of Our Lives, I haven't seen a whole lot I haven't seen a whole lot of story for Kate. She usually is sitting at the table at the pub, and she's either talking to Roman
Yep.
or maybe Kayla and Marlena every once in a while.
Yeah. And so I guess then, so Philip and Kate, so then Kate and Victor, I guess, had a kid named Philip. So I imagine Kate and Victor had a relationship on the show.
I imagine they did. But remember, didn't somehow, some way, through some kind of magic,
Right?
Vivian Alamain had him, carried him, right?
Yeah, like you know how they do in Soapland. Like even in the one that I wrote that is slowly being recorded at the moment. Somebody takes another person's baby
Exactly.
through just medical nonsense that isn't real.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if that's the case, I don't know.
They just pluck the embryo right out of the uterus.
Amaya says Kate and Victor were married in the 90s, so I imagine when that blew up, and then Mickey Horton passed away, leaving Maggie alone, because Mickey and Maggie was the bulk of Maggie's time on the show.
Oh, Mickey and Maggie, yeah.
Before Mickey
and Mickey is Sarah's dad.
I think so.
And also, well, yeah. So
Yeah.
Holly's her granddaughter. So Mickey is grandpa.
I guess. So. Holly's parents are Nicole and the dead guy, Jonas, something Jonas, Daniel Jonas.
Yes.
Look at us, Mom. We didn't even watch this stuff.
So Mickey is not. Okay. Different son.
I guess.
I guess they're both perished.
Neil Curtis. Neil Curtis is whose dad? Is Neil Sarah's dad? Because I know Neil. He's on 85. He's in the olden days.
Oh, he is.
Yeah. So Neil is Sarah. Neil. Because see, Neil's with Liz Blondie, Liz Chandler, at the moment when I'm watching. So 40 years has passed.
Yeah. Sure has.
Sarah's dad is Neil, and Mickey wasn't Sarah's father. Thank you very much, Samaj. Mickey is not Sarah's grandpa. Okay, so Mickey and Sarah are not related, it seems. But she's Horton, though, right? I'm just so confused. Who's Sarah's dad? Let me know. Let me know who Sarah's father is, please. Because there's a lot of Horton kids. There was Mickey, and then there was like Johnny, and then there was like Bobby, and then there was like Susie, and then there was like Charlie, and then there was like like Tom Jr. Like there was. Remember in that first episode, they had like 4 kids already. Tom and Alice, 4 adult kids. We saw the 3 sons, and then or 2 out of the 3 sons, and then the daughter were all hanging out, and then like the 4th son was like coming back to town or something. Oh, goodness. Oh, Neil Curtis had an affair with Maggie, which is how Sarah was born. Classic soaps.
She was a cheating, wasn't she?
Maggie has been on the show for 50 years. Of course she's
I know,
cheated.
it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. I'm so grateful that I got to meet Suzanne Rogers, and she was at the event that we, the first at the Emmys.
Yeah.
So it was lovely to meet her. And she just, I just really, even the short, few minutes we talked to her, I don't know, it just seems so genuine and so nice and just so real.
When it comes down to it, when you meet an actor that's been on the show for 30 to 40 to 50 years, the comfort and the happiness that they have is just so different. Like it's like having achieved and not constantly trying to reach. Because they have the attention, they have the love, they have the job, and now they're just writing it. And there's a lot of enjoyment that it seems like the actors have when it comes to that.
And it seems like the actors that have been on the shows for a long time, the legacy actors, they just seem to have a different kind of regard for the fans.
Yeah, like they like them more.
Yeah.
But that might be because of their experience with the fans when soap operas had a larger place in like pop culture and a larger place when it comes to like events you can go to. Super Soap Weekend in New York City.
Who loves to talk about that, actually? And we got to talk to him a little bit about it. Ken Schreiner loves talking about the old days of the
Oh
old
yeah.
events.
Oh yeah,
He
yeah.
loves
We
talking
had so
about
much
that.
fun. Yeah, can you
Yeah.
if you're good friends with Anthony Geary and Tristan Rogers and all of those people from yesteryear, of course you're gonna have a great time. Just Tristan himself telling us stories about him and Anthony Geary just on location,
Hmm.
just playing around on the house that they're filming in and
Yes.
finding their little secrets and
Yeah.
boozing it up after the scenes and all that sort of
Yep.
stuff. Like just
Fun stories, huh?
like the 80s was just such a time. Was such a
It
time for
was.
everybody. I mean, maybe not everybody, because there was a big pandemic happening at the same time, um, but but for a lot of people, it was a party. So Mickey and Neil are not brothers, but now that all of this chatter's gone through, I do remember seeing something about Mickey actually being sterile and unable to have children.
Oh.
And so when Maggie gets pregnant by Neil,
Hmm.
Mickey's like, uh-huh, pregnant, huh?
There's a snake in the watering hole.
I think that you might have stepped out on me, Maggie. That's not a Mickey at all. However, Mickey did sport this awesome beard as
Oh, did
well.
he?
Like it's a good beard. It's a good full beard.
So does Maggie look? I mean, I haven't watched any of this. Does Maggie look completely different?
She looks totally different. So I've only seen one scene with Maggie. So she's on the show, but she's not in a big story right now.
She's not in a big old arc.
No, and it doesn't seem like Maggie and Mickey are together at the moment either. So I don't know
Okay.
if they've had trouble, or, during a 2-year, 3-year, 10-year split of theirs and their epic love story. I don't know exactly what's happening in August of 1985.
Mm-hmm.
But Melissa, who is Mickey's daughter, so I guess he wasn't always sterile, or she's just also a kid that he raised. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
exactly, but
I
she
have a
considers,
thought.
right, he considers her daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that she refers to him as dad, I think. Anyway, this is 1985, not 2024. We'll catch up to 2024, I promise. But I did see Maggie once because Melissa's on the run with Pete as old Patchy's sending hitmen after them because they got Victor's
Mm-hmm.
pictures. I need my pictures. You don't understand. Find the pictures and eliminate the threat. Um, and so her back's against the wall, and Todd Chandler's there to help, but he's also a bad guy. But is he a good guy? And da 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 da. And she's had too much. And so she goes to a payphone and she drops in no money. She just dials and she
Like
goes,
call.
exactly. Would you like to place a collect call? Yes, from Melissa.
Mm-hmm.
And this is before the robots. And so there was a live person who called Maggie. Maggie picked up the phone. And the live person said, I have a collect call from Melissa. Do you accept? And Maggie goes, yes. And then Melissa starts talking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Blah, 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 blah. Maggie says, I'm going to tell your father. Hangs up. But that's all I've seen. That's all I've seen Maggie. But she looks totally different. 40 years ago, I saw her as Maggie,
Mm-hmm.
but it was before work. It was before the process. It was before she prevented herself from looking her age that she is now. She's like in her early 80s, right?
She's 80 years old. Yeah.
I would never guess it.
No, I wouldn't either.
So it was before all
Whoever
of
her
that.
surgeon is, if I
Mhm.
ever want some, I wouldn't even ask her for his name because I thought she looked pretty good.
So it was before.
I think she looks pretty good.
I think she looks pretty good too. So it was before all that. So, and as we know, as you get work done and as you age on top of the work, it does have a tendency or potential to change what your resemblance to your younger self.
Yeah.
And so there's some of that, but it's still Maggie. You can still tell that it's her. You can look up a picture one day.
Yep, I will.
Look up a picture one day. But she's just such a sweet woman, though. The woman behind Maggie.
Yeah,
Like
she
when
is.
she walked up, watch the video on the channel, folks. When she walked up to us on the red carpet, like she just kind of like leaned.
Her and I just became girlfriends
Yeah.
immediately.
Yes.
Didn't we?
Yes. Yes. Just the immediate connection there. So I love to
Yep.
see it. And of course, in that interview too is Drake Augustin, which is an experience that I'm never gonna forget.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
grateful we got to do that.
Me too. Me too. It was 40 years ago, Michelle. It was 40 years ago, and as we get closer and closer to the inevitable passing of Doug on the show, which I feel as though we're only just a couple of episodes away from now.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm sure you guys agree that, I think when when she goes back upstairs to bring him his second bowl of soup, she's gonna find him, she's gonna find that he's gently passed away.
I feel, I think, so we saw the preview, the preview from Day of Days, which is all online now and yada yada. I'm sure everybody's seen it
Mm-hmm.
by now as well.
Mm-hmm.
Jack finds him, says Jeannie. We'll see. We'll see how it all goes down.
Mm-hmm.
At the very least, we do have a moment of Julie at his bedside with some sort of body double underneath the covers and her reacting to finding him there. Whether or
Yep.
not Jack does it first or she does, I don't know exactly how it's going to come down.
But you can tell by this week's episodes though that it is fastly approaching.
Yeah, because we kind of went from like just not really talking about Doug, he's just kind of doing his own old man thing, into I'll be right back, honey. I'm just gonna come. Oh, JJ's at the door.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't know how Jack's gonna find him. Jack's not on the show right now. Is Jack coming back to go yell at Cat?
Maybe Jack and Jennifer are on their way back because they got that cat green to give a tongue lashing to.
That's right. They're not. Jennifer's coming back, but it's not Dixie Jennifer. It's original Jennifer.
Yes, Melissa Reeves.
Yes, Melissa Reeves. That's right. Hey, Mom, did you know that Joy and Chloe are sisters?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Joy and Chloe are sisters.
Yes. And then Leo banged their dad.
Really?
That's what they were talking about at the bench when Leo and Joy were chit-chatting.
Oh yeah.
How she called him the reason or something, like the reason, basically alluded to the fact that Leo was the reason for her parents' split, which isn't exactly true, but kind of is. It's the reason why they're not they have no chance of rekindling.
Right.
But they've had plenty of problems before Leo when it comes to Joy's parents. But anyway, his
so where
name
is
Craig.
he? Is Joy's enjoying Chloe's dad is passed?
No, he's alive. He's just out there somewhere, as they do on Days of Our Lives.
He's out there living his gay life now.
I guess. I don't know if exactly.
I guess so, huh?
I don't know if it was some sort of old, late life awakening that was permanent, or just a little affair that he had out of curiosity. I don't know exactly how that all went down.
Could be.
It looks like it was about 10 to 15 years ago. So when it comes to the long-term storytelling, I mean, it could be 8. I don't know, sometime in the past.
It could be 5 years, but it's supposed to be 15.
It was years, enough years ago for me to say that this is interesting long-term storytelling, where they pick up something that had been done, and they're like, well, what if we have their daughter start interacting with Leo? He's still around. That happened right before you started watching, so maybe it was only 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what year things are anymore.
Joy wasn't on the show back then.
No.
It was only Chloe, right?
Well, Chloe, and then I guess Patricia Darbo has been on and off Days of Our Lives, depending on what she's been doing with the other soaps as well. And her name is Patricia. I don't know. Whenever I see her on the screen, I think of Patricia. I don't think of her character's name currently.
Me too.
So that's unfortunate.
What is her character's name? Because it's usually the other way around.
Right. Because, I'll be like, oh, man, Chad, what's his name? Oh, yeah, Billy Flynn. Right? Oh, goodness. So I like it, though. I like it when they pick up something that's like Days. I think that's something that Days does a really good job with. And I don't know if that's a Ron Cavalardi thing or just of a Days of Our Lives, just normal flow of how they like to do their shows. But putting something down and picking it up, and then a character going away, but then coming back. I actually saw, Eli Grant. He's married to Lonnie, I think. Lonnie and Eli are a couple, and they're
and they have the twins.
Yeah, and they were, and so I did a little research into that because I was confused about Lonnie's relationship and stuff. So Abe is Lonnie's dad. Lonnie's mother is Paulina's sister.
Oh, so Lonnie is biologically Paulina's niece.
Yes.
But But Lonnie calls her mom, so she must have raised her.
I don't know exactly what
Or
all of that is. I
yeah.
just I think I understand it correctly. Chat, tell me if I'm way wrong. But because I was very confused as to why she had the last name Price, but wasn't necessarily Paulina's kid.
Oh, okay.
Now tell me if I'm wrong, chat. Now, Michelle says no, so I might be wrong. Now listen, folks, I get my information off of Wikipedias and things that people write from their memories,
And perhaps they're wrong, huh?
and perhaps they're wrong.
Oh,
Perhaps they're wrong. Double C, you're wrong. Not everybody hates Body and Soul. I enjoy it.
I don't hate
She
body.
thought Paulina was her aunt. Okay, so Paulina is her mom then, but she thought it was her aunt for her whole life, I guess.
Okay, so maybe Paulina was in a bad spot and gave her to her sister for a short time.
I don't know. Like, there's so much olden days that we could cover.
I know, right?
That helps inform what we're watching now.
There's a lot of olden days.
She thought Paulina was her aunt. So that's interesting. Maybe we should do a day special one day where the chat just tells us everything. You know, just give us the family histories. Paulina was
You
good
guys be the professor.
Paulina was the mom, but was raised her aunt because Lonnie's bio father was abusive. Abe is not her father. That came out recently. She thought he was. Oh boy, there's lots of trouble when it comes to Lonnie's parentage then.
Yeah. Yeah. And Chanel is Paulina's, but not Abe's.
Yes. Lonnie is biologically Paulina's daughter, but she didn't learn that until she was an adult, and Lonnie killed her biological father because he tried to kill Abe and Paulina.
And maybe that's why she went to jail. Remember when we were first started watching?
That's probably exactly why she went to jail.
Oh, it's a tangled web, y'all.
It's a tangled web. Honestly, I feel like the web of Days of Our Lives over the last couple of like year and a half that we've been podcasting has been nowhere near as entangled as it has been in the past. Days of Our Lives, when we've been podcasting, has been very easy to digest and very easy to understand. It's not. I can't say that I'm always the most convinced that these people have made the choices that they have made.
Well, yeah, that's where the camp comes in.
Exactly, you know. But it's been pretty easy. But he accepted her as his daughter. Okay. So there's just so basically Lonnie grew up not knowing who her parents actually were.
Or was misled. Who she thought they were was not true.
Right. So craziness, wildness. Eli Grant. So the whole reason I mention all of this is because Eli Grant, he's a part of the thing, and this is all connected to my admiration of their long-term storytelling mother. So in Olden Days 85 that I'm watching, this character has passed away, but his last name was Grant. And he hid all of Victor's crimes that were written in a book. And I think that's what all these pictures are leading to, is all of Victor's crimes written down in a book.
Ooh.
His criminal ledger. I gotta get my criminal ledger. So, now, but so blah, 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 Mr. Grant, yada, 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 holding his in, and he's passed away before all of this, yada, yada. But I'm like, Grant, what? And then I looked it up, and then I have to trust this wiki. I gotta trust this wiki. They're related. And I don't know how long ago this other Price, because Paulina's sister was a major character on the show. She might have even been the ghost lady that showed up to cure them. Is Paulina's sister the ghost lady that cured them? Let me know, chat.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah. She cured Paulina and gave Abe back his memories.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. She just said, oh, I'm an angel.
Yeah.
I'm here. All right. So Lonnie still calls Abe her father because of all of this. Samaj has given us the big breakdown, and so is Amaya. The only bio kids that Abe has. Now, this is Days for Dummies, folks. This is on topic and really important for us to talk about. Okay? We're the dummies here. The only bio kids that Abe had is Theo and Brandon. Now, I know Theo's namesake, and we've seen a little bit of Theo in the last year and a half.
Yes.
He blew through town and left again.
Yep.
At the end of Crazy Nurse Whitley.
Yes, I remember.
But I know his namesake, Theodore, who's Abe's brother. So he's on the show, and I'm pretty sure he's about to get taken out of the plot. We'll say. They're chasing after Savannah Wilder and Victor and their criminal enterprise and their heroin ring and their murders and all that kind of stuff. And well, This actor who plays Theo, Theo
Mhm.
Classic, I call him Theo Classic.
Your classic.
This person who plays Theo Classic is very
Mhm.
famous for doing what is it? What is it? There was a series of horror movies, anthology horror movies, that were like black cinema. It's very good, very popular.
No,
Very, very popular. I
can't
can't
think of what
remember
it
the name of
is.
the franchise right now because I'm live broadcasting. If you asked me during a regular conversation, which a camera's not in my face, I'll be able to tell you very easily.
And as soon as we say goodbye, it'll pop in his brain as
hmm
well.
But yeah, so he moved on from that and just did a bunch of like really popular like horror anthologies and just
Mhm.
did this, that, and the other stuff and just became kind of like a filmmaker
Huh.
in his like mid to late 20s. So he's not long for the show, is basically is what I'm gathering just from the actor's career.
Uh-huh.
Oh gosh.
Imagine, like, can you imagine, Matt, that say, for instance, All My Children was still on the air
hmm
and we had started watching it late
Yeah, right.
and it was still on the air and you're looking back and you're seeing, um, Reggie,
Right? Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan thinking, well, he's not long for the day, All My Children.
Gosh, and there's just folks, there's really something special about the name Reggie Montgomery. First of all, it just flows. Reggie Montgomery is a great name. It really is. Secondly, it is so indicative of late 90s, early 2000 television to name the kid Reggie. just just so many Reggies. So many Reggies in that era for in media and entertainment.
Even on General Hospital, they had a butler named Reginald.
Right? Just Reggie. Just so popular. I
Yep.
don't think that's who Theo was named after. Then name another Theo because Abe's brother is called Theo, left, right, diagonally by everybody. Nobody calls him
Mhm.
Theodore. He's Theo. So if there's another Theo that was just as important to Abe, I would love
Most
to hear the story.
Theodores, well,
Ted.
most Theodores, I would say today, if your name's Theodore, more than likely you're going to be Theo. But if you were born 40 years ago, more than likely you were going to be Ted or Teddy.
Yeah, so I think it's like this man is full of personality. Theo Classic. So maybe that's why he picked it. I think you should ask us questions about family trees. This is fun, says Michelle. Well, hey, without Angela, we need TAs and professors, so maybe that's just the
You
special
guys
we're gonna
are
get
the
now.
professors this week, for sure. You share that hat half the time anyway.
Sincerely, like good God, what the heck would we talk about during this hour if it wasn't for the
Exactly.
chat? Sincerely, we
Exactly.
would we would we
Exactly.
would we would we would find ourselves on such tangents all the time. We would talk about laundry detergent before you knew it if it wasn't for
I
the chat.
know. I know. But let's talk about something that's happening right now.
Okay, what do you want to talk about that's
Right
happening
now.
right now? You want to talk about dumbass Tate? You want to talk about well, the cover guy is Rafe and Roman, and the caption is Roman's terrible advice. Do you want to talk about Roman's terrible advice?
Sure.
All right, Roman, love to see you. So happy that you got a couple of scenes, you got some lines. I loved your stuff that you had with Steve this week. The Steve and Roman connection. I have to find something new to really anchor myself. I love myself some Rachel. I enjoy myself some Kristen. Brady's fun to look at. Alex, was a little Cupid. Hey, cool, thumbs up. But without a John Black, I really need an anchoring force. I don't know if Roman and Steve are my anchoring force, but there was something about that old man connection that I was drawn to.
Oh, well, that's good.
Now, it also probably has a lot to do with the fact that Josh Taylor is a part of it, as well as Stephen Nichols, who are two actors that I am just knee deep in right now when it comes to olden
In your
days
olden
and
days.
current days,
In your olden days
in
and your current days.
my current days. So maybe that has something to do with it because Josh Taylor's a lot of fun. I don't know if he's too old to still be a lot of fun or they just haven't given it to him. But Josh Taylor as Chris is a lot of fun.
Okay.
He's just so 80s, Mom. He is just so 80s. Just from the hair and the his build. It was before people were on steroids and had no body fat. And so, yeah, he's fit, but he also looks like a human.
do some of the I would think And I didn't see him, okay? I haven't seen Josh Taylor. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Does he have a Miami Vice kind of flair?
Yes.
Does he?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, you might have actually seen some pictures or something in a magazine from '85
I
that might
have,
start
but
being
I've not seen any of the olden days. So, but I would think just by his mannerisms and the way he looks, he would have kind of a Miami Vice kind
yeah,
of
so
flair.
he's the hip bartender. He's the hip
Okay,
bartender.
there you
He's
go.
the one that'll, like, somebody tried to burn down shenanigans and he beat the tar out of him. He's like, who
Ooh.
did this? Who was doing this? Nobody, no. And he's like, who are
Uh-uh.
you working for? I'm not working for anybody, man. Who are you working for? I'm not working. No, you're wrong. You're working for me now. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
heroic
So there's
way.
80s machismo all over the
Yeah,
place,
yeah.
huh?
You're working for me now. We're going to stop all this violence in the waterfront. Yeah, yeah. I'm going to work with Sean Brady and make it happen. Come on, Bo. No, I'm going through
Right.
trouble. I can't talk to you. I can't talk to you, and I can't talk to Hope. There's nobody there for me. Let's just leave the past in the past. Ah, Bo Brady. Chris was so sexy, says Michelle. Do you think he's still sexy? Because he's still on your screen. He just changed his name to Roman. So Roman's advice to Rafe is terrible, Mother.
Okay, what did he say?
You forgot.
Remind us. What did he say?
He sat at the pub
Yes.
and he said, "Listen, I was commissioner. I know how you feel. What you need to do is sue the city."
That's lame advice.
Terrible. Roman. All right. Okay. So here's the thing. Rafe is no longer commissioner. Paulina has decided that Jada did such an amazing job while Rafe was in a coma that she could keep the job.
And she alluded to the fact that Rafe would be a better asset on the street right now.
A better detective because crime is down. She solved all these cases. Jada is just copping her little butt off.
Yeah.
Better than you cop your butt off, Rafe.
Connie did her a favor, huh?
Galen's vacation did Jada a lot of favors. So Paulina's decided that Jada is going to continue to be the commissioner while Rafe has to return to the streets as a detective. And it's better that way. Yeah. And Rafe, while happy for his fiancée, is also pretty dejected over the fact that he's been replaced by his fiancée.
But yes, he's disappointed and whatnot, but I thought he kind of took it with some amount of grace.
He took it with some amount of grace, but then the conversation with Roman was like, I see what you're doing, buddy. But if you marry somebody while feeling this way, you're just going to have growing resentment.
That's kind of true.
Yeah. So, I mean, basically the conversation was, I understand the dichotomy that you have. You know, like the terrible thoughts in your brain over happiness and upset.
Hey, you know what? You almost got the Roman down.
I know. I feel bad because it's so unique that I feel like I'm making fun of him. Because Charles honestly wants to sound this way. He tries to sound this way, you see. Oh, come now, Emma. You know, he wants that. He wants that. Right. Josh Taylor doesn't necessarily. But then also, I don't know, man. I just don't want to make fun of somebody.
Well,
I guess if there's no malice in my heart.
I don't think you immolating him is any worse than John Black.
Duck. I like Jada as police commissioner, says Maj, and I do too. I think that Jada as police commissioner is actually a great fit for the Jada character, and I'm curious to see what the story is going to be between Rafe and Jada. Because it's you know, we're not in a place in which we are necessarily expecting to see some sort of jealous rage of Rafe's that gets in the way of their romance and relationship, and they split up because Rafe just can't get past the fact that Jada has replaced him.
But I could see her making some kind of decision in her position and him being completely against it and thinking she's making a terrible mistake.
Yes.
I can see that happening.
So I don't want
and there would be a rift because of that.
Yeah, I don't want it to be a personal problem between them because Rafe is like, I can't get over the fact that I have to listen to my wife now, which is sort of what they covered in the conversation too, because Rafe is like, I've got no problem with the fact that she's a chick. You know, Hope was commissioner before, and I had no problem taking orders from her. It really is just kind of like the demotion after all of these years. It's kind of like taking all of that commentary about Kelly Monaco. Well, she gave so much of the show for so long, and this is what she gets in return? Same thing
Mm-hmm.
with Rafe and his perspective on his time with the Force. Like, I did all this stuff. I was commissioner for a long time. Nobody had any problems. But now I don't get to have that job anymore. That's not a
I
thank you.
no, it's not, and I don't think that Paulina did the right thing. Actually, now, if he would have stunk at his job and he was a problem, and this opportunity comes to replace him, yes, but that's not the case. He was successful police commissioner,
Right.
not any worse than Jada. So I don't think it's necessarily fair. It's but I guess you can put it right into HR. Okay, when you go on some kind of medical leave at your job, in most states are required to give you your job back, but they are not required to give you the same job back.
Just a position.
It's just a position.
Right.
But
Well, yeah.
I don't think Paulina was. I just don't think Paulina. Yes, Jada was doing a great job, but he was doing a great job too. And she expected to give it up, and that was, she wasn't expecting to retain it.
No.
She wasn't promised anything. I think don't think that Paulina did the right thing.
I
That's
guess,
all.
I don't know, because there's two ways to look at it, right? Because, Paulina is a person and a human and has a friendship and relationship with these characters, but she's also the mayor of the entire town of Salem, in which we
Right.
only see Horton Town Square and a couple of houses. But
Mhm.
presumably Salem is a city.
Well, those big shots that they have at the beginning of scenes,
Yeah.
those
There's,
drone shots they have.
yeah. There's some
Oh, yeah, you
buildings.
can see. Yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah. It's interesting and fun because I don't think that was always the intention of these soap cities to be large metroplexes,
Hmm.
but they've all turned into large metroplexes over the last 50 years.
Yes.
Because if you take all those establishing shots away and just take a look at Days of Our Lives from what I've seen in olden days and what I've seen now, it's
Hmm.
very much a small town feel. Like, this is small town Salem in which all of this weird crap happens.
Hmm.
But not really. Anyway, the whole point is Salem's a city, and the people who live there is more than just the 30 characters that we see on the show,
Of course.
which, by the way, is the same number of characters on General Hospital for those keeping count and complaining. The cast is so big. Uh, Days cast is just as big. We had 30 actors there, over 30 actors at Day of Days.
It's different. It's just the way they handle it's different. Where General Hospital's just trying to put everybody there, where Days of Our Lives will send you upstairs for a couple of weeks to
Yep,
chill.
that's pretty much it. Yep, that's the main difference. Really. It's more than 30 citizens in this city, and so Paulina does have a responsibility for the rest of her constituents
Yeah.
to keep them protected with the best possible police commissioner available at the moment, which in her mind is Jada. So, should she have sat them down and had a conversation? Probably.
Of course.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about what I think. Let's talk about what you think, and let's talk about what the law requires.
Exactly.
But instead, she made a mayoral decision.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's tough. Because of the personal relationships that they have and the drama that we see every week on Days of Our Lives. Yes, she should have had a conversation. But in real life, you just tell the person who's the new commish.
Yeah. My favorite conversations I see. Of course, I love to see Paulina and Abe together because I just love all that old person happiness.
It's wholesome. It really is. Like, I
is.
don't feel as though they will betray each other or lie to each other or
Exactly.
cheat on each other. Like, I
But Paulina
believe.
and Abe can never break up. Days of Our Lives, please. They can never break up. Okay.
Right.
Um, but my favorite scene partner for Paulina is EJ.
I think my favorite.
Because they have stripped down conversations. They say things real to each other. Like when Paulina told him, "I let your ass go, um, but
But I don't
what's her
trust
name?
Melinda or something.
Yeah, Melinda don't want the job."
Yeah. And you're the only two lawyers, unless Jack comes back to town or something.
Yeah,
You're pretty much who I got as my DA, so suck it up, bucko.
yeah. I love that kind of run.
I mean, she's great. When it comes down to it, you can do a lot with Paulina that you can't do with other characters. Can you imagine, like, say Kat gets hit in the head, right? And
Hmm.
she goes down in a coma.
Hmm.
You're not going to have Chad at her bedside going, "You wake up."
Right.
Just wake up or I'm going to fire you, or whatever it is that she did,
Uh-huh.
right? And
Mhm.
he wound up waking up and getting fired. Uh, but you can't do that with Chad. Chad's not like that, you know.
Right.
Over on the hospital show, you know, we you know, we're days away from Lulu waking up because Laura yelled at her, but Laura can do that.
Yeah, I actually really, really enjoyed that scene.
Yeah,
But we're
we'll talk
trying.
about it. We'll talk
We're not
about it.
before Charles right now, though, Matt.
No. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But I'm just saying, you know, when it comes down to it, there's some characters that can get away with something like that, and Paulina can always get it. I mean, come on, irradiated Hulk babies and out on on a snowmobile and all sorts of stuff. Like Paulina can do that easily. You can give that stuff to Paulina in a second.
Yep.
It'd be a little harder to get like Gabby on a snowmobile. You know, like could it happen? Yes. You'd need to have 2 or 3 extra scenes though.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine though, just Gabby in her like chic snow outfit,
Oh yeah.
just the
And then
cap and the
after she would
scarf.
say, "Oh yeah," and then after she would say, "My boots are ruined."
Hey Laura, it's okay to be late, Laura. We were super late too. We were almost half an hour late. As a matter of fact, we've only been podcasting for about half an hour, and we're already running out of time.
Fine. Oh my goodness. Well, we better move on and start talking about something else. Let's talk about those green kids.
So those green kids. So Cat, Cat, not you, Cat with a C.
Yeah,
Is your Cat with a K?
Wrong. Cat with a C for a person is just wrong.
I mean, Catherine spelled with a C is wrong.
I agree.
And Catherine spelled with a Y is even wronger.
Yeah, I agree.
Stupid Catherine Janeway. Get out of here, Star Trek Voyager.
No.
All right.
Therine.
That's you. Just me too. I'm traditional Matthew, okay? No Mathieus, okay? No Mathew, okay? 2 T's. All right. 2 T's.
Spell it like it's in the Bible. Come on.
Like the Bible, all right? The poor green kid, says Laura.
I know. Well,
they're just so tortured.
They are all tortured, but I feel a different way about the 2 younger ones
than you do for the older one.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you mean like Felicity and Aaron versus Kat and Dr. Green?
Yes.
Whatever his first name is.
Yes.
Aaron or something. No, Aaron's the kid.
Mark
I don't
Green.
know. Who? Gregory? Mark. Yes, Mark Green. Oh yes, Mayor Mark Green.
Yeah.
That's right. So less sympathy for Kat and Mark.
Mm-hmm.
More sympathy for Aaron and Felicity.
Yes. Because Aaron and Felicity have been kept in the dark. They don't know the details.
Yeah, they don't know crap.
And they're minors. And they're depending on adults to have used their brain.
And they're not.
And they're not.
They're not. You know who loves to be a part of that cast though? Little Miss Kennedy Garcia.
Yeah, she does.
She absolutely loves it. She had just the time of her life at Day of Days and also with the Day Players.
Yes, she did.
She got annoyed by Brian Datillo, and that was super fun to watch.
That was hilarious. It was hilarious, you guys, because she was sitting right next to him, and he was having the time of his life.
Can you imagine it though? Okay, so
Kennedy wanted to smack him.
So Kennedy,
she actually looked at him once and told him stop.
So so just put it into perspective, all right, folks. I don't know how well you know Brian Datillo. We don't know him very well. We just met him on a couple of occasions at these days events. But he is somebody he's verbose. He's loud. He calls attention to himself. He's the life of the party in the center of the room, which I'm sure is something.
Clown. He's the class clown.
Oh, absolutely. And you will always know if Brian Datillo is in the room, which I am sure is something that Kennedy Garcia was reminded to quiet down, calm down, settle down, don't make a spectacle, relax, da-da-da-da-da-da. Growing up, learning how to, be in the world, just like everybody else has to do. So I can imagine, having all of this quiet down training and then watching this guy just act a fool for 3 hours has to just be so weird.
And she did, I couldn't help but watch her. She was so funny. She eye rolled at him. I can't even tell you how many times.
Can you imagine it though? So Brian Datillo, we're gonna work on getting him on the show. So hopefully you guys are big fans of Lucas Horton, because he's just he really is super fun. But he seems to be I don't know him, but he seems to be somebody that's super fun. So long as you're not partying with him for like 24 hours straight, because then he'd get a little tired.
Because then he would become what is called a ultra nuisance.
But we don't know him. We're totally talking out of turn. I'm talking out of class here.
Yeah.
So, Brian DiTillo, I know you're watching, and I know you're listening to us talk trash. So come on to the show and defend yourself.
Please, we would love it.
Laura says that sounds hilarious. It was a great time, and everybody had a great time too.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody had a great time.
Yep.
Steve Johnson is the smartest man in Salem. He's already figured out Chad and Clyde.
Yeah, he has.
What if when Chad told him to go to hell, it was just hang on. What if when Chad told him to go to hell, it was just it was code for yes, I'm in. Which is exactly what it was, Steve Johnson.
Exactly.
Like, you're the smartest man.
Actually, Steve, our dearly beloved Mr. Patchy, yeah, he's quite a sleuth, isn't he?
Yes.
Yes, he is.
He figures some stuff out real quick. Probably because he's been on both sides, right? He's been a hero. He's been a villain. He had Stefano DiMera's consciousness beamed into his brain from a fake eye. Like, he's had a lot. He's had a lot going on in his life. I'm never going to forget that. I'm never going to forget Stefano DiMera.
I love that.
Like, that is USB flash drive of memory swaps.
Yeah, it is.
Style
yeah,
of awesome.
it is.
Sue says, hi, Matt. Didn't Brian DiTillo's son or daughter recently get a soap role? And the answer is yes. Brian DiTillo's daughter was recently cast for something on General Hospital. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's big, little, important, small. I don't know if she's coming through with Girl Scout cookies or what.
She's the new Charlotte.
She's the new Charlotte?
I think so.
Well, I'm going to look it up right now then. Let's find out.
Because I saw a picture. I didn't make the connection of the last name, but I saw a picture of a young girl, like a teenager.
Delilah
in front of
DiTillo.
General Hospital.
Delilah DiTillo. She's short, though. I don't know. She looks like 11 to me.
Yeah?
Yeah. 10-year-old daughter.
Huh?
10-year-old daughter. I don't think she's going to be Charlotte.
Oh, she's not going to be the new Charlotte then.
She might be, she could be a Donna. She could be a, maybe she's Donna.
Oh, maybe she is Donna.
She's, so she's a little dark-haired, little girl, just like Brian DiTillo is. Mm-hmm. And, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe she might,
Oh.
I think she might be Donna, because they're good. They're good with their Avery. They're not going to be replacing that Avery anytime soon.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so yeah, I feel like she's going to be Donna. I think we're going to age up, because Donna's like 4 on the show right now, right?
About 6.
About 6. So it's time. 6-year-old's prime for a Soros.
Yep.
What are you going to do at 6? Oh, I'm entering 1st grade. Oh, the drama. Like,
right.
No, you got to push him up to preteen.
You know what? Different song. Never mind.
No. Oh, wait, no. Oh, sorry. We started talking about GH.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about General Hospital. Let's talk about okay. JJ's home. Yep. I don't. This is my note. I don't know this guy, but Julie is happy, and he also stops EJ and Gabby's altercation. EJ.
Now this for the first time ever, and it probably won't happen again. I kind of feel sorry for Kristen this week.
So she loves herself at Brady.
She does.
She absolutely loves herself.
She loves herself at Brady. The idea of her and Brady and Rachel being a family again.
It's making her make the right choice. It's enough for her to make the right choice, Mother.
Yes, it was and that was against her grain. Really, that was against her grain. And I think she actually believed. What did you say? What?
What?
Happened?
Nothing. I'm just listening to you.
Oh. Anyway, she, I never believed what Brady said. Yeah, but there's no chance of us ever getting back together. Well, yeah, that's true if you don't do this. But what he left out was there's also not a snowball's chance in hell anyway.
He knows how to play the Kristen game, right?
Yes. And she kind of believed him,
Yeah, well, enough.
And
God, it's so good.
Stacy played disappointment and vulnerability pretty good, and that's not Kristen's wheelhouse.
No. So EJ and gosh, who else were they talking to?
And of course, EJ loves to just, he just loves to rub everybody.
Well, he admitted to Gabby that like he's just reveling in the fact that he split up Stefan and Gabby and was happy to see them get a divorce based off of the tryst that Gabby and EJ had. So he revels. And we've seen it too with Chad. He revels in his siblings' suffering. He's so happy to see them unhappy.
EJ is like twirling his mustache all the time.
And it's so good too, because he's like, that doesn't sound like a guarantee, you know? I didn't hear the word that he is going to be back with you, you know?
Exactly. I just
think
for
you
the
got
first
played,
time,
Kristen.
like I said, for the first time, I kind of felt bad for Kristen.
And then I think it was maybe Sara. I don't remember. It's tough for me because I don't know what it's just lack of familiarity with the characters in the setting. I think that makes my memories not as strong as like the GH ones, of like who said this and what was this conversation. But I think it might have been Sara and Brady, where Sarah's like, "Listen, Kristen hears what she wants to hear, you idiot." Like, she thinks that you're gonna get back together now.
Exactly. And he should have known that because he knows how she feels about him.
Well, maybe he wants it though.
She knows.
I mean, after a couple of times with the Fiona, he's like, I just need to get with somebody else.
Oh, man.
Hey, you know, speaking of Kristen, that makes me think of her time with Alex, and when she's like, done, right?
Yeah.
And then from that moment on, it's like Alex has realized that he can be turned down.
Uh-huh.
And it's changed him. I feel such genuine friendship between him and Chanel.
I do too.
Like, I don't feel any sort of like, you know how, like before, it always seemed like Alex was trying to get in everybody's pants.
Yes.
I do not get that sense from him in his scenes with Chanel. Like, he's like there for her.
Yeah. He was like, you know, yeah.
Like being friends, like he's interested in Stephanie, and that's it. Mm-hmm. What a change for Mr. Alex.
Exactly.
It's like they want to eat. I don't know if it was the writers or the actor. I don't know who it was, but somebody decided that his time as Victor's temporary son was enough to change him. Yeah.
I think so.
I'm with it.
But we'll see how long it sticks.
Well, I don't know. I'm for it. I like Robert Scott Wilson. I think that he's played one type of character the majority of his soap career. And I bet he is chomping at the bit to do something different other than just like the gigolo of the cast. You know what I mean?
I tell you, he's as hot as he is as hot as a summer day here in Manteca, California.
Made me want to buy a bow and arrow. I never wanted to be an archer more. Oh gosh, I love that. I wrote that as a note too. Play Gal magazine, like this is just ripped from today's headlines, folks.
It is.
And I know that recently Deidre Hall and all of them talked on the red carpet and said, oh, we're done with Body and Soul, and people are interpreting looks and cadence to voice and tone and yada yada to make up what people think about it and stuff. I'm just going to tell you what I think. I don't think that Ron was fired. I don't think that they said, thanks for your service, get out. I think he decided that he was done writing for the show.
You think
so? And I think as one of his final things, he was like, you know what I've always wanted to do? Write about how stupid soap operas are. Write about the things that I've written about, but in a way in which I know that this is stupid as crap. And I really feel as though that Body and Soul is simply Ron having fun. I sincerely do. I do. I think that he decided he was on the way out. He wasn't going to renew a contract or whatever it was. Maybe I'm retiring. I don't know exactly what his plans are. Mm-hmm. But I don't think he did this to tank the show or because, you know, we're giving you 2 more months, Ron. No. Mm-hmm. I think he was having a good time. And I think that we owe it to ourselves to have a good time with it as well. Because come on, play gal.
I know.
Play gal. We just did this in real life.
Yeah, we
did. By the way, Days of Our Lives is the #1 show on Peacock. Put out by somebody who isn't just some schlub, you know, some regular person, not some regular person.
Good stuff on it.
So it's the #1 show on Peacock, or it was the #1 show on Peacock last week or something like that. So I don't know if there's no Yellowstones that are new or something like that might normally be at the top of the list. But Days of Our Lives was #1 last week.
Yellowstone's new episodes are not being broadcast on Peacock. The brand new ones aren't. The ones that just started last week. No, they're on Paramount Plus.
They moved streaming?
That's where I watched last week's.
So was it always on Paramount? I just got the app wrong.
No.
No?
It has been on Peacock in the past.
Well, I don't know
You can
then.
watch all the old stuff for Peacock, but
Yeah.
just not the brand new episodes.
Yeah. Hmm.
And they made it really hard to find too. I had a hard time finding Yellowstone.
That's so strange. It's such a popular show. I wonder why that is.
Hmm.
Really, not Y&R?
I heard other people.
Well, Y&R is on Paramount, not on Peacock. So you got to keep that in mind, Michelle. Yellowstone is on Paramount, I think, so it's always been on Paramount. Okay, well, I don't know what sort of competition is over on Peacock. I don't know, Saturday Night Live or anything else that's on NBC or whatever. But Days was their number one show, and somebody of Peacock tweeted that out. Hey, congratulations, Days of Our Lives, number one show last week. Ron
It's
Cavalardi.
awesome. I love that.
Ron
I want to
Instagrams
hear.
it, reposts it, and leaves a comment. Must be body and soul.
Mm-hmm.
People hated him for that. Huh, it's not. It's because JJ was on.
Well, we saw from the preview that JJ and Gabby are going to have something going on.
I mean, if there, he just saved her from being grabbed by Egypt. Now, listen, folks. I don't know. It's weird to navigate things through the sensitivities of today, because if this was olden days, somebody grabbing another person's wrist to prevent them from leaving the room was just normal stuff. Nowadays, we have the question of,
Exactly.
is he gonna smack her? What if she,
Mhm.
and it goes away? Like, what is he gonna do next? You know?
Right. Completely different.
So totally different. As no, hand her and JJ and EJ and just the J's. And that's going to be fun to comment on, to not mix those up in the future.
Uh-huh.
So is he Jack Jr.? Is that why he's JJ? He's Jack Jr.? Because he's Abigail's brother. So is he Jack Jr.? JJ, Jack Jr.?
Abigail's brother.
Yeah. JJ and Gabby were exes, but it will be interesting to see
so.
them reconnecting. Ooh, so they've already done the business together, Mom. In the past.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, familiar comfort.
Oh gosh. Yes, but all soap operas are rated no matter what channel they are. Yes, I'm not saying that Days of Our Lives was the number one soap opera. I'm saying that it was the number one show available for people to watch on Peacock. So Young and the Restless is always the most watched because it's the one that's on the most countries. Keep that in mind, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh goodness. So yeah, that's what's up. What else is on my notes, Mom? We gotta wrap it up here in the next couple of minutes.
I don't know. What else? What you got?
Hey gal, Johnny confesses his cheating to EJ.
Yeah.
So
It's not gonna take long for Chanel's gonna find all about all that.
just
and you know what? It's just gonna be like Days of Our Lives. Man, oh man, they do this all the time. Talking to a portrait with somebody listening.
Well, of course. Of course. That's how we keep Stefano and we keep Victor.
They're doing it in two different houses.
Yes. I'm surprised, I'm surprised there's not a giant portrait of Tom and Alice up in the Horton house for them to be like, you know what, Grandma?
Exactly.
I'm really letting you down. Oh my gosh. You don't have to be sorry, Michelle. Everything's okay. She was like, oh, but what about all this? And she's apologizing for not quite understanding the depth of ratings. Who cares? I don't care. I don't care. You know what? It really doesn't matter to us ever. Like it really, like as a viewer, how many other people are watching the show has no bearing on my enjoyment of the series.
Mm-mm.
So
Mm-mm.
it's all good.
I just want other people to watch where it won't get canceled. That's all.
Yeah, well, enough for the network to be happy with it, for them to continue to fund the show or to continue to buy it from the studios who's creating it. Somebody in the chat.
I love that Days of Our Lives is on Peacock.
It's so
I love
convenient.
that I can watch that crud any hour of the day I want.
The ability to watch a soap opera at 6 a.m.
It's
or
right
later is great.
Yeah, I love it.
It's great.
That's usually how I start my day with Days of Our Lives.
Like, I guess, I don't know, because there's different standards and practices for different times of day, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can get it, there's why that's so much news on in the beginning of the day. One, yeah, because people want to be informed when they're getting ready for work. It's like their newspaper. But also at the same time, it's what you can get away with at 8 a.m. Like, you can get away with news and cartoons. That's it. So the ability to have a daytime drama on that early changes how somebody is able to engage with the show. Like for you, Ma, or for me, who's able to get it in the very beginning of the day before I start work, rather than at the end, watching it on DVR, waiting for the kids to go to bed so I can catch a little bit of my Days of Our Lives. By then, I'm not as invested. I'm ready for bed. But be able to watch it as I'm getting ready, rather than the mornings on 2, rather than Good Morning America.
Yeah.
Days of Our Lives. Oh, it's nice. It really
I
is.
like it.
It's
I like
great.
it.
It really is great.
I don't always watch it first thing in the morning, but typically I do.
Yeah. Xander may make it so Body and Soul never makes it to the air. He's going to buy the studio and cancel them or something. He said.
But he's talking about it.
Clyde wants Kat out in exchange for Abigail's body location, which is she's alive.
I just don't. But she's alive. You got that Clyde down. Why would you believe anything that monstrous criminal bastard
I'll tell you
said?
exactly where I hid her body. You dig it on up, you're going to find an envelope. An envelope is going to have some pictures. These pictures are a treasure map that's going to lead you to an actual body.
Yeah.
As it turns out, she's a zombie.
You know what I think that they should have Jack, JJ, and Chad go on a caper and find her. Alive and well.
Thank you, Michelle. Yeah, she's alive. She's totally alive.
She has to be.
Just find some new actor. Or not. Find the same actor. Get Kate
And
Mancy
I think that Katarina is going to wind up being alive too.
Yeah. Oh, I think she is. Isn't she already alive? They already said she's alive. So she's going to kill Mom. Isn't that who their mom is? They haven't really said that
yes, yet. They say that's who the mom is. Yeah, and that Clyde has her, but he's been saying that if you don't do this and this and this, I'm going to kill her. So right now, since they weren't successful with killing Chad, now their mother's supposed to be dead. She's not going to be dead.
No. Let's see. Michelle says, before you go into GH, check your mic. What do you think, Ma? Am I coming in clear to you? Have I been coming in and out?
No, but you've been freezing more than you normally do.
Oh, really? Because I'm not seeing any of that on my end.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
You've been freezing some?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is what I'm going to do. It's almost 10:30. We've been doing this for just a little over an hour now. It wasn't the most organized show, but we're going to end it here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the Zoom. And I'm not going to let my computer do anything other than finish whatever the hell it is that it's doing. And hopefully by 11, we're going to have a much clearer broadcast.
That sounds good.
All right.
That sounds good.
Thank you. I didn't usually I can see some of the internet hiccups on my end, but I've been super smooth on my side this whole time. So I apologize for that.
Maybe you have to get the wire like I did.
I'd have to run it from that house to this house, so I don't know.
Oh, no, that's not
possible. But what I do have though is on this Wi-Fi connection is satellite, not Starlink, but other like super speed satellite internet, because the front house broadcasts wrestling shows onto television.
Oh.
And so they email that out, and that's a massively huge file. And so they got a massively huge internet connection for it.
Oh.
So I got a great internet connection. It's my computer. It's not up to snuff. So I'm going to let it finish whatever. We were late this morning because it was updating like crazy. So I'm going to continue to let it finish updating. And hopefully it will not interrupt my internet. I will say, though, that because on my end, everything has been super smooth with no interruptions, that the audio version of this podcast is crystal clear with absolutely no problem. So you can join us on Spotify, you can join us on Apple iTunes, on anywhere you get your favorite podcasting, and you can get the clear version, uninterrupted, of this podcast this afternoon.
Sounds like a good idea, Matt, the whole letting it do its thing.
So we covered most of everything that I wrote down.
Well, that's good.
So we did it.
We did it.
We did it. That's it. That's the syllabus for this week.
Oh, I have one more quick comment.
Please do.
One more quick comment. I felt damn sorry for that sweet little Sophia too.
She is getting some advice from Ava that we would expect Ava to give.
Mhm.
And she's taking that advice as good advice, and it's not good advice. But she thinks that she's genuinely doing the right things to try to get this guy.
Mhm.
And he says Holly's name.
Mhm. I felt sorry for her. I
But at
did.
least she had the gumption to be like, all right.
Exactly. Exactly. I thought the same thing, Matt, because when you're young like that, and having these first time experiences and your confidence levels not what it, you're still just growing in your mind and body.
Yeah.
It would be so easy just to accept that kind of crud.
Yeah.
As a,
Okay, well, we'll see where it can go
exactly.
from here.
Exactly. So yes, I was thrilled. I felt sorry for her, but I was thrilled with her assertiveness of like,
Yeah.
no, this is not good enough for me.
And what does he do? It goes straight back to Holly. You know what Holly needs to say after this kiss that they shared on Friday? Okay, bye.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
See ya.
bye.
Yeah, see ya.
Okay, bye.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go date old mophead. All right.
Yeah, you're as dumb as your dad. Get out.
I'm gonna go talk to old crying eyes mophead. All right. That's who I'm gonna go date. All right. Not only can he clean my floors, but he's also a crybaby. And that's the man I am. That's the man I want, all right? I want one that's so in tune with his emotions that he's going to go, I don't know what's going on with my sister, and I think my mama might be alive. Ah! I'm there for you, Aaron. Come on, let's go to the salon. Come on. Come on, Gen Z. Let's cut that hair, huh? All right, folks. That's the brief cover of it. Listen. My suggestion for the people in chat. I'm gonna be honest with you. All right, Tate and Aaron and Holly and Sophia is the storyline that I personally, as the producer and first talker of the podcast, am the least interested in. So if you want us to talk about that more, mention it in the chat earlier. And I will see if that can inspire the conversation to go in that direction. Because when we're talking about stuff, those characters just don't pop into my brain while we're going through our tangents, and this character leads to that, and that story leads to that. They just don't occur to me because I'm of everything, I'm the least interested in that. So,
well, I thought of it.
Yeah, you thought of it, Ma. So good for you. Everybody else mentioned in the chat earlier, and we'll probably cover that topic a little bit more. So it's your response. That's your homework, folks. Think of a clever phrase to use in the chat. That's it. It's 10:30 in the morning right now. We're gonna go ahead and stop here. You can go over to Suds Media for the next half hour and watch them as they go into their very tail end of their 26-hour podcast-a-thon. If you want to donate a little bit to Samantha's Friends charity, that's where you can do that. Go click over there. I think right now they're talking to Jacqueline and Grace Lopez, who played Blaze on General Hospital. I think that's what's happening right now. So click over there. Come back at 11 a.m. Pacific time for 10th floor here on this channel, and we will party Port Charles style.
There you go.
Scotty Baldwin. See you next week, live 9 a.m. right here for Days for Dummies. Class dismissed. Remember to swing for the fences, folks. I've been Matt.
I've been Kat.
And we'll catch you next week and also in half an hour right here on the 10th floor. Goodbye.
Bye.